This is question 10 from the sample assessment material from Edexcel, and it's a Unit 1 hire paper. The table gives information about the lengths of time in hours that some batteries lasted. Now, when you see a frequency table in a Unit 1 paper, there's a few things you need to look out for. The first thing is what's it asking for? It's asking for a histogram. So that means one of two things. It could be a normal histogram where you put the frequency on the vertical axis, but the eagle-eyed amongst of you will notice that the class widths are not equal. And because you will have revised well, then you also know that as soon as you see that the class widths are not equal, so this has got a class width of 10, this has got a class width of 10, but this one's got a class width of 5, 15 and 20. So you're going to have to work out the frequency density, and frequency density is the frequency divided by the class width. So for this particular one, it's going to be 5 divided by 10, so that's 0.5. This one is 18 divided by 10, which is 1.8. This is 15 divided by the class width of 5, and this one is 12 divided by 15, which is 0.8, and then finally we've got 10 divided by the class width of 20. Now what that means is, rather than just looking for the highest frequency, you can find the most densely packed group, and having 15 in a group between 20 and 25 hours is more densely packed than having 18 between 10 and 20, and that's a better representation of the data. So once you've worked out the frequency density, you can then apply it to the chart. Now with frequency density, if there's no numbers on the vertical axis, it means that you've got to add them on. So for frequency density, you'll notice that the numbers need to go as high as 3. So presumably the easiest way to do it is like that. So if we then start adding our bars in, the first bar needs to go to 0.5, and it's for the group between 0 and 10. The next group's also got a width of 10 and goes up to 1.8, and then the next group, which goes from 20 to 25, so is a thinner one, goes up to 3. Moving on to the next group, which is 15, because it goes from 25 to 40, and that goes up to 0.8. And then the final group from 40 to 60 is 0.5. So that's what your frequency density chart should look like, or essentially your histogram, but it's just because it's unequal widths, we have to use frequency density. That's all that's required for this question. It's worth bearing in mind that for future questions, if you need to work out the frequency, if you're given a histogram with frequency density, you need to work out the frequency. That on a histogram with frequency density, frequency is represented by the area of the bars. So for this one, which is 15 by 0.8, if you multiply those together, you get 12, which was the frequency. So frequency is area, though that's not required in this particular question.